Once in a while, along the Golden Mile, you may find a girl called Faith, wearing naught but a smile. She was a legend in the town of Blackpool for her superb ability to make men drool. But they weren't men, not really. Some were pigs who wore wigs. Some were bulls hoping to pull. Others were cats. And the mammals, like the mice and the rats. Faith liked to flirt. She liked to seduce, for that's all it would be. These animal men were no use. No use to me. She wanted a man, with human fingers and toes, with human arms and legs and a little human nose. But not too far away was a hamster called Malcolm, who dressed very smartly, in a blazer and tie. Watching his beloved Faith from a distance, he would look down and cry. He was hardly a male, with his button-like eyes and chubby cheeks and fluffy brown tail. He decided tonight was the night. He would pick her some flowers, and then they would sit and chat for hours and hours. He took to the pub, where he knew she would be, as she spent most of her afternoons there from around 2:45. He walked up to her, tapped her on the shoulder. She gave him a glare, and he felt a little colder.
Here you are! These are for you!
He placed the flowers on the bar. She looked at them and said, "Ha, ha, ha." She threw them back at him and turned away. Heartbroken, he sat at a table, and he cried as much as he was able. Oh, how he cried! For years and years, his little round eyes shining with tears. All he could do was watch her as she laughed and flirted. It was too much for him to bear. Oh, how it hurted. The pub doors swung open, distracting Malcolm from his pain, and in walked a man with no name. He had human hands and human eyes, and Faith noticed these features, along with his human thighs. Malcolm decided to give up trying. She had found her man. He must stop crying. And over the weeks, because Blackpool was so small, he would bump into them. He couldn't cope at all. They would hold hands, kiss and hug. Poor Malcolm began to think he was being taken for a mug. As their love grew, his bitterness would blossom. He realised there was nothing he could do. He became a hermit, a sad little thing. He would stay indoors all day, withering. But one night at home, he heard a thump and a crash. He ran to the window in quite a mad dash. Out on the street, he saw a couple fighting, kicking their feet. But this wasn't just a couple. It was Faith and her man. Malcolm hid behind the curtains, listening hard as he can. They shouted and shouted quite a bit, silenced only when Faith got hit.
He slapped her. Oh, what a beast!
Malcolm felt something strange and new. He felt strong. The feeling grew and grew. He ran down the stairs, out onto the pavement, where he clutched his paws, making the statement, "Leave her alone," he bravely said. The man glared at him. Malcolm knew he was dead. The man stormed up to him, angry and mad, and Malcolm punched him, and he didn't feel bad. The man fell to the floor. Faith sighed with relief. His reign was no more. Thank God it was brief. She thanked Malcolm for his help.
"You were my hero. I'm your #1 fan."
She hugged him tightly. Malcolm had never felt more like a man.